Hey, welcome back to my channel. English is my second language, and I still remember the moments when I was trying to watch something in English without subtitles. I couldn't understand anything, even though I knew most of the words that were being said, or I couldn't hear them clearly, or the speech was too fast. I had to turn the subtitles back on, and then magically, everything changed. The speakers started sounding clearer, slower, and the whole scene started making sense. Fortunately, after many years of practicing, studying, and eventually teaching English, I do understand most movies and TV shows in English without subtitles now. And in this video, I want to explain why movies are so hard to understand and what you can do to finally watch them comfortably without subtitles. I want to talk a little bit deeper why we understand written English so much better and can connect the spoken words into full, understandable sentences. Let me start by comparing movies and TV series with YouTube. One of the first things I realized was that understanding native speakers on YouTube was much easier for me, especially vlogs or educational videos. I preferred YouTube over Netflix for a long time, and it turned out to be a brilliant decision. YouTube speakers are clear, more direct, and less dramatic. There's no soundtrack blasting behind them, no explosions, no characters whispering like they're afraid to wake someone up. This kind of things. It's just easier for the brain to process and focus on the clear speech. I think problems with understanding movies and TV shows aren't always about listening skills. Sometimes the environment makes listening hard. Some actors mumble, scenes are full of noise, sound effects, shouting, with all that external noise. Even in your native language, you would miss something too. Really, some actors mumble everything or whisper so quietly you start questioning your own hearing. And sometimes there's just too much happening in the scene, like gunshots or car crashes. There's simply no way you're going to hear the words properly in situations like that. It's not your English that's weak, it's the production. So don't blame yourself for not understanding everything. It's completely normal. And then there accents. Some dialects are really, really challenging, even for native speakers. Game of Thrones is a perfect example. I've heard many times from North Americans watching it without subtitles, it's almost impossible for them. And then this British accent that I still find really hard to understand. It's very challenging and complex. So, not understanding every accent doesn't mean your English is bad. For me personally, I always wanted to sound more natural and less like an immigrant. That was my personal goal. So, watching mostly American content, American movies, American series, and logically now I understand Americans and Canadians, or American and Canadian English, much easier. Even some southern accents are fine for me now. I love how Matthew McConaughey speaks, for example, even though he has a bit of a southern edge, or that popular TV series Ozark, there are a lot of people who sounds just like quit parking in the cripple spot. He ain't gonna do any good for you, buddy. It's just so poor judgment. Something like this. Hearing lines like that, it really helped me to train my ear to catch the natural rhythm, pronunciation, and the connected speech of real English. And it's nothing like in books, what we read in books at school. Something very important, which is the biggest difference between reading and listening. We often learn how to read words first. We learn the spelling, the dictionary, pronunciation, the correct version. But in movies, none of that stays the same. The real pronunciation changes just like that. Have you ever watched a scene, understood every word individually, but still had no idea what was happening? Speed, connected speech, accents, acting style, time period, slang, everything mixes altogether. That means to understand effortlessly, we don't just need to know one pronunciation, we need to recognize many variations. Think about it as going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna, did you becomes didya, let me becomes let me. They sound nothing like what we learn from textbooks, textbooks. So the moment you hear them in a movie, your brain goes, wait, what? I don't know this word. Even though you do, it's the same word, just a different sound pattern. I got comfortable with American and Canadian English, and trust me, you can do the same with any accent you want. But additionally, local jokes, phrasal verbs, and idioms are another layer of complexity. Many of them only exist in one country, one city, or even one time period. For example, you might hear something like, he's such a New Yorker, or don't be a Karen. And even if you know every single word, you still might not understand the joke because it's cultural, not linguistic. Phrasal verbs make things even thicker. Run into someone doesn't mean you literally hit them. Bring up means mention. Carry on means continue. Then there are idioms like it's a piece of cake, I'm broke, hit the sack, or under the weather. None of them sound like what they actually mean. And if the show takes place in the past, you might hear old expressions like, I did you farewell, things no one says today. And that's why it's okay to skip them. I mean it. Don't waste time translating phrases nobody uses anymore. But if you hear something again and again, that's your sign to pause. Look it up and learn it. And here's something I really want you to hear. If you struggle with movies, nothing is wrong with you. You are not bad at English. Movies are just the most difficult listening format. Every movie, every episode, every conversation drains and trains your ears at the same time. Different movies also throw you into different environments. Detectives with police vocabulary, doctors with medical terms, documentaries with academic language. That doesn't mean your English is bad. It means you are exploring new fields of language. Just choose your content wisely. And this is very important. It might take months, but every beat of listening, even when you don't understand, builds your skills. Now, the biggest idea, I want you to take away the effort you put into listening, even when you don't understand everything. It will pay you back later 100%. No doubt about it. So, the big question, do we actually need subtitles or should we turn them off? The short answer, no, we don't need them. We don't need subtitles anymore, but sometimes they're useful. Let me explain. If you're watching a show and you don't understand most words, subtitles won't save you. There are just too many words you haven't been exposed to yet. Stopping every few seconds to look things up would take forever. In that case, the biggest thing you can do is simply keep watching. You need more listening exposure, not more pausing. But if you're watching something and you only miss individual words or occasional expressions, that's the moment when subtitles actually help. Pause, check what you missed, learn it, understand why. Was it a slang, connected speech, background noise? Learn it quickly, then turn subtitles off again and continue. That's active listening. And here's a simple progression plan that works incredibly well. Start with YouTube. You get easier speech and less noise. Choose one series you like, stick to it. Don't jump around. Watch one episode with subtitles, then watch the next without. Rewatch short scenes to focus on connected speech. Then slowly increase your no subtitles time as your brain adjusts. This builds listening like muscle training. Small pressure, repeated often. Before I end this video, let me leave you with this final thought. Subtitles are a tool, not a crutch. Understanding everything instantly is not a goal. Growth happens when your brain is challenged just enough, not when everything is comfortable. So don't be afraid to turn off subtitles sometimes. Try, fail a little, guess, learn, repeat. That's how listening becomes natural. You can get to the point where movies feel effortless. I did, and you will too. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. I'll see you later.